Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and it is time to at least get started with setting up for October 2022. So you can see here I've got like some stuff all ready to go. I'm actually going to be spending some time talking to you about like what I'm planning to do for October. This is really still like a work in progress in terms of like how I'm thinking about October, but I had a recent video where I basically hold a big happy planner, and so I do want to try to like not waste those pages. So I think I'm gonna move into a big happy planner. And so for right now, here's my thought. I want to be able to basically put everything together that needs to travel with me to like either my office at home or my office at work, and just be open on my desk. All of those different sections of my Franken planner will be in one planner, a big happy planner, and then I will have a separate like on the go planner. And it's really, I mean, I've talked about in previous videos how I basically hate duplicating things, and I realized that the main things that I really hate duplicating are transferring over my numbers into my budget planner and transferring over information for my food log. And so with that being said, what I want to be able to do is set up this Skinny Classic kind of like ordeal right here into a on-the-go budget system. It will live, generally speaking, in the Franken planner that I'm setting up for October, but when I need to be on the go, this is the setup where I'll just kind of like, actually, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, I'm gonna set it up to be able to live essentially not on my desk. So it's gonna be something that I can take with me around the house when I'm buying stuff, but also at work when I'm buying stuff, or when I'm on the go, which is generally where I'm gonna be buying stuff. I have it ready to track all the things. So I wanted to get it set up today and at least try it out. I have all of these supplies that I'm trying to use down, and so this is just part of it. So most of it is going to be components of an outdated Happy Planner that I received for Mother's Day, I think. Yeah, I think it was last year. Okay, so actually this year, 2022. Yeah. No, 2021. Okay, so I received it for 2021, and so it's been like 2 Mother's Days ago, and so at this point it's fully outdated. So it started, I think, in July of 2021 and went until June of 2022, and so it's completely outdated at this point. But then I have a couple of other things that I've cut down to size, but I'm going to start off with, first of all, getting set up with like the initial like skeleton or the outside of it. This is the cover that came with it. It was a Skinny Classic, like I said. This one was one that Sophia picked up for me with my hinting, but it says today, and I just love the Sophisticated Florals line, and so this came as part of the Sophisticated Florals. It was the Skinny Classic for that line. And I got my Mickey bronze color. It's called metallic, I think, on the website, but these are the bronze metallic metal discs in classic size that I'm going to use because I feel like these colors just work well together. And so I'm gonna stick these on here. I like to hold the two covers together and just pop the discs on, and I think this just stabilizes it a little bit and just makes it a little bit easier to put things on. I of course use this planner, and so I'm not quite sure what the scuffing is, but like obviously there's writing on it. Just zooming in a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to try to reorganize all of these things. This is pretty much all of my Skinny Classic, like outdated guts and pages and filler paper. Actually, no. I said filler paper, but I do have filler paper like separately stored. So these are all like the dated like dividers or like things that are not filler paper for Skinny Classic, basically all of like my pages, like calendar pages. And so this is the beginning, and I thought I would just go ahead and put this in here, okay? And I'm gonna set this up for October basically, but I'm gonna use it until it runs out, I think. So it might be that I end in November or December, or it could be where I end it in like January of 2023. It really just depends. All right, so what I'm gonna do is go through and pull out, like, you see I have notes on here and everything, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the dividers first, just because I need to be able to kind of like put them in order. So I'm gonna set to the side like all of these pages, and there's like random notes page here. I'm pretty sure I like went through and kind of like looked at all of these pages and kind of put them in some kind of order, or like separated them. So I'll try to leave them at least kind of separated. And then I have a lot of dividers here that I cut down to Skinny Classic size. I did pick ones with like patterns on it, ones without words or quotes on it, and I cut them down to Skinny Classic. So I basically like took a divider, a Skinny Classic divider, and just cut it down. And you can see it's a little bit short actually, which It's kind of irritating now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm gonna try to blend it in with like the Skinny Classic dividers. But okay, so here are some dividers, and then here are some other dividers. Now I think that I did throw away some of these because I did write on some of them, but then some of them I did save. So who knows what's in here, but these are the ones that actually came with this planner. I think there might be some others mixed in here, but I am going to reorder it to where it's going to be an October start, October, November. Okay, and then, right, December should be a second tab, but I definitely don't see, well, no, here it is, December. I may or may not have all these dividers. I might have all 12. That'd be really nice if I did. Okay, January, February, March and April, May and June, July. Okay, and the only one I'm missing is August. Okay, so because September will be the last divider since I started with October. Right, that's actually perfect. I love that. So for these dividers, the back of it, you can see here has like this monthly calendar on it, and it has at the very bottom this list of like holidays, but you know, you can easily cover that up with like some scrap paper, or you can do like I do and just completely ignore it altogether. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put September in here. I'm gonna check through this pile again to see if I just didn't. I found August. Look at that. I have all 12. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so just double checking. Okay, starting with October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so then because I have that in here, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and stick in all of these other dividers. And I do, generally speaking, like to keep them like in some kind of order. So I'll just go through and like pick a one tab and then a second tab, third tab, fourth tab, but it's gonna be kind of random really at this point for where they come from. And I said I normally try to find one without like quotes on it, but this one obviously has a quote on it. So it's not always where they have it. Okay, and then I have a bunch of like these tabs. These I was using for dividers for my sticker organization. And I'm actually at this point, I just don't know if I need these dividers in here. And I think I cut all of these down to be able to be used in my sticker organization. So I said I was gonna stick them in here. I'll just stick them in here for right now. I just don't see where I need even more categories in my sticker organization, you know? All right, let me stick them in here. Okay, I'll get the fourth one in here. And then this one has a label for baby, which actually now that I think about it, I don't know. And these two are labeled. Okay, I'm just gonna toss those, right? It could just be tossed. Those two I've used them at some point. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is go through this stuff. All right, so first things first, I have all of these kind of like extra like filler paper. They're either like Not Happy Planner filler paper, which this is from Cloth and Paper. And then I have this one sheet that was ripped here. And then this one was actually a classic size paper that I cut into this size. And so all of these are just like random filler paper. And what I'm gonna do is actually stick them right here, just to try to use them, right? It's gonna be before the October divider. And then what I have are all of these other pages. Now, the way I like to organize my redated planners, and generally when I do any kind of redating or like reorganizing or just kind of doing all this type of stuff, I try to use only the weekly pages. And so like I get it to where it's like essentially a spread, and then I just like tape it down or like use like paper clips to be able to put it all together. And sometimes I'll use tape or glue too, but I do want to try to reuse these dividers, so I'm just going to like leave them where I'm going to tape them down. So I went to grab some like paper clips, and I'm just gonna paper clip it right here just to get started, right? Actually, that might be a little bit too tight. That's okay if it's a little bit dented. And then I go through and like, again, I like to make it just to where it's just the weekly pages. And so it's going to be these weekly pages like this. And then this will be, again, either glued down, taped down, or paper clipped together like so, okay? And I just use it as like basically like double-sided pages like that, okay? And I didn't bring enough paper clips for this entire project, but I'm gonna do a quick flip. And these look all like they're like just outdated pages, okay? And so I'm gonna go ahead and stick them all in here for October. Definitely I'm not gonna, well, I hope I don't use this many pages for October, but I'm gonna stick them all in here. Like October is the beginning of the shopping season, so you know, like I'll be buying stuff for Halloween, I'll be buying stuff for Thanksgiving, and just kind of saving stuff, so maybe I would use all that. But then what I'm gonna do is I went and grabbed my like whiteout here, and this is what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm basically going to undate everything here. It's still 2022, I'll just leave that. I mean, if it's current, I'll leave it. But I'm gonna white out basically the days of the week and the dates. And I might like go through and just decorate this just to have some fun with it. It's been a while since I've decorated a Skinny Classic, and they are kind of fun to decorate. It doesn't take as much time. You know, it's just fun to like use all of my stickers, right? But my thinking here is that for budgeting, what I like to track for budgeting on like the classic size like budget system that I have is basically the date, where I purchased it, so like the storefront, whether it's in store or online, like whatever store it was, and a description of the items that I purchased. I also like to be able to calculate which category that particular purchase is being pulled from, and like how much I have in my like cashless cash envelope for that particular category. And so what I'm thinking is that instead of like doing it day by day, where like I have a single day and I'm saying, hey, you know, this is Monday, and here are all of my purchases for Monday, what I'm going to do instead is use each of these blocks, including this color, like kind of like taupey block right here. So I'll basically track 8 expenses down here, and it will just be by purchase. And in fact, sometimes I make like a purchase that's like a combined purchase where like it should be split out into 2 different categories. And so even if it's a single purchase, I'll go ahead and split it out into 2 categories, and be able to kind of list it here. And I just think that'll work well for me to be able just to track each individual item. And I'll list out, like, I mean, if I went to buy groceries, I'm not going to list out every single grocery, but I'll just put, you know, like Walmart groceries and the total, and then it'll be the category of food, and I'll subtract that dollar amount that I purchased from the food category and have kind of a running total, and I'll be able to kind of track it as I go through. A couple of things that I'll do to kind of like adapt it is to make sure that, especially as I start making like holiday purchases, that I am tracking like whether I've received the order or not. So I'll probably add something where it's like an online tracker. Have I received it? I'll just like add a little line to like check mark whether I've received that item. And I want to be able to like make sure that I'm tracking that this is like the last official category of like a single thing. So like I want to like be able to subtract my dollar amount from the last food category. So I might like put a little box here somewhere where I can like go back in time and say, okay, I've already like used this number. I feel like it's kind of hard to explain. So I'll kind of play around with it and see, but definitely I want to be able to keep basically all the normal things that I would keep in my normal like expense tracker, but add like the idea of like an online tracker and be able to track like where categories and dollar amounts are kind of landing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, just to use it as like 8 separate expenses or separate categories of expenses, and use as many or as little as I need to. I'll just white out as I go through. And because this could be where I'm making like 8 purchases within one day, it could be where I use like this kind of 2-page spread in a single day, and then sometimes I go weeks and weeks without like buying anything. So it will be just used as needed. But I like this idea of like not duplicating and transferring everything over to my budget planner. I just need to be able to use the information in my budget planner and have it transferred over here, and just keep it in one location that is easily transportable, so that way I can go ahead and write down these things when I am in the store. So this is the setup. Again, I'm just going to be using these pages just to try to use them up. That's my goal for this year, is really just to try and use up all my stuff. That's my goal for next year too, is to use up all my stuff. So that's it. I will try to do at least one plan with me in here to set it up, so that way I think visually it'll be a little bit easier to see what I'm talking about. So I hope you enjoyed this video though. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, bye guys.